I assume if you're a fan of football, you know how the offside rule works. But this new offside rule introduces pivotal changes. In the past, a player was deemed offside if any part of their bodies extends beyond the last defender, even by a few millimeters. A striker could be ruled offside for the stupidest reason ever. A player could be preparing to sprint and his knee, elbow, or even toes poking out could lead to the action being offside. But not anymore. Now, for a player to be offside, his entire body must be positioned ahead of the defender, rather than a few millimeters. Here's a visual example of how this works. The yellow player here is the attacker, and the player with a white shirt that appears to be in a Poland kit is the defender. Here the striker, wearing yellow, is onside, because his entire body is not ahead of the defender. If we trace a line, we can see that the player's hand and foot is onside, but on the other hand, in this second picture, the yellow attacker is offside. Why? Because his body isn't behind the red line. If the player's foot was trailing by even a few millimeters, then he would have been onside. And this new law will change football forever. An example of this is in the 2022 World Cup. If you remember well, Argentina were getting destroyed by Saudi Arabia, and they lost 2-1, which, to be honest, no one expected. Lautaro Martinez in that game scored a goal to equalize, but that goal was ruled offside and it didn't count because his shoulder was sticking out. And this new rule, if it was implemented sooner, Martinez would have been onside and Argentina wouldn't have lost to Saudi Arabia. It's not every day we get new rules in the best and most famous sport in the world, football. Not to mention that this rule was put forward by a footballer, or should I say, he was once a footballer, but is now mostly known as a top-tier coach and coached the Invincibles, Arsène Wenger. This new rule will give a major advantage to strikers. It is one strikers will adore and defenders will hate. This new offside rule will be implemented in Sweden, Netherlands, and Italy. European nation also confirmed that this rule will apply to the men's league under 21 and the women under 19 league. As for the big leagues like the Premier League, Serie A, La Liga, and Bundesliga, we don't know the exact date in which these rules will be implemented, but we do know it will be this year. This is a new rule strikers will adore, and we'll be seeing a lot of goals scored next season thanks to this rule. And we'll also be seeing a lot of frustrated defenders for sure. Victor Osimhen is a striker that comes to mind and will shine under this new rule. He scored an impressive 26 goals last season and is ranked second player caught offside most frequently. And with the offside rule being less strict and easier for strikers, beware of Victor Osimhen next season. I'll be shaking in my boots if I was a Serie A defender. And also, if you wanted to know who was the first player most frequently caught offside, it's Timo Werner. Nah, I'm joking. It's Francesco Caputo. One fan said, "Thank God, offside is an awful rule. Ruined so many potential exciting plays." Another said, "This would be an excellent change to the rule. More goals equal more excitement." A third added,
"No way, I've been saying they should do this for years.
This has the potential to open up scoring in a sport
a little more, as well as eliminate the most controversial offside rule. All for it."
However, some fans were still skeptical of the idea. "This is a terrible idea, and it will result in negative plays. Defenders will sit deeper." One fan said, "It's gonna ruin a lot of ideas in football. I'm out." A final fan added, "FIFA finding new ways to make the offside worse. I have to admire it at this point." 433 made a poll about the situation, asking their fans if they agree or not with the decision. And 28.5% agreed, while 71.5% disagreed with the rule and think it is bad. Personally, I love the rule, but what do you think? Is it for the better or for the worst of football? And speaking of new rules in football, if you want to see a new rules for goalkeepers and strikers taking penalties, you can watch this video where I explain everything about it. Thanks for watching. I have been Football Man, and I'm out.